Hello, comrades, and welcome to another episode of Locomotive Royale. I am your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. I have no technical advisor today because Tyler is on a hike. And that's not a joke, he's actually on a hike. He'll be back, hopefully, towards the end of the episode. But I have 5 wonderful contestants with 5 spicy locomotives. Today's theme was locomotives that have exploded, either by themselves or with help from an explosive device. Now, I don't know the history of all of these locomotives, so as we go through them, I'm going to ask about the circumstances in which they blew up. This is the warning to all of the people that I'm going to ask you how that happened. So, first off, because he guessed very close to Tyler's preferred loco base ID, which was an SP 4102. East.
EP.
Yeah, what is this and how did it get exploded?
So it is a Taiwanese C-57, and some children were playing on the tracks, so the trains had to jump out of the way.
Okay. Wait, no. That's not how that works.
No, what they did is they had built up a sand pile on the tracks, which acted as a sort of ramp. And the explosion here was the firebox exploded, killing, I think, the fireman. Meanwhile, the engineer and someone else in the cab managed to jump to safety.
Jeez. Okay. So they did some classy, some train sabotage, I guess.
Yeah, don't let children play near tracks with the sandbox.
Those are
apparently.
not based kids. Those kids grew up to buy lots of cars, I guess. I don't know.
Those kids are the kids that blew up that one Amtrak train.
That kid's name, General Motors.
Yeah, that kid was actually Ford.
Alright, anyway. In the second position, Mew. This is an Allegheny.
It is an Allegheny. CNO 1642. This one blew up June 9th, 1953 at Hinton, West Virginia. Overheated crown sheet due to low water. It sounded like the days leading up to this incident that there were some notices in its maintenance record about one of the injectors.
Oh.
On again, off again working. Apparently, either earlier that day or the day before, the engineer that this locomotive was assigned to on the previous train said it was working, and apparently this time it was not, because one of the eyewitness accounts noted that they could hear the warning low water whistle that automatically, I guess, when one of the fusible plugs drops or something. As it was passing by.
That is an interesting feature that I was totally unaware of. I figured that what would have been said is they saw the locomotive crew running for their lives, because I feel like you have lots of warning if your injector stops working.
No, apparently the train was still trundling along at medium throttle.
Oh, alright. Also, just this thing is enormous, and this will become a theme, but just comparing it to the probably normal-sized Vanderbilt tender of the locomotive behind it, this thing's enormous. Kaiserin, this is a familiar face. Can you tell us how 520 blew up?
Well, let me pull up the Wikipedia article. In 1942, this locomotive blew up and killed, I presume, its crew. They rebuilt it, and it is currently on display at the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania.
It is the last surviving L1 out of a great many L1s.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure it's one of the only L1s to blow up. and then survive a reservation.
Yeah, that's true. Locomotives has suffering boiler explosions and then subsequently being preserved. That's not a very common sequence of events.
Task failed successfully.
Yeah. All right. This is Mopac.
Well, I have brought a Delaware and Hudson J95, number 1510, which in July of 1941 exploded outside of Cobleskill, New York, because there's no water in it.
This is another one that is a familiar face. This was in your doubleheader with Mew,
Yeah.
if I remember right. And
Yeah, I tried to get style points for it blowing up, but you wouldn't give them to me.
yeah, that's right.
They actually rebuilt it by the end of 1941, too.
It's a shame none of these survived.
The Loco Dome, right?
Yeah, in
Loco
Locodome. This is speaking of which, I would like to have a Locodome bracket sometime after this season of Royales is wrapped up, but we'll see how that works out with everybody's schedule and how many people are willing to jump into the ring for those, let's face it, long matches. Finally, this is Fort's entry.
Yes, so I brought Union Pacific 9018, which blew up on October 20th, 1948, while in Kansas. So the reason for its blowing up was similar to a couple of other stories you might have heard, low water on the crown sheet. Though with this one, from the dying breaths of the front-end brakeman, he just said we were low on water.
Okay.
And apparently, when it blew up, the brakeman was seen exiting the cab, climbing down from what was guessed, because the crew was purposely having the engine run low on water to build up steam faster.
Oh god.
And they went a little too low on that front.
You might say they found out.
Yes, exactly. It was luckily the actual pump and injector equipment was actually relatively unscathed, and they transplanted it onto one of its sister locomotives. I'm forgetting which. And they tested, and the pumps worked perfectly still. So it was not mechanical error that blew this majestic beast.
Okay. This is it's interesting that we have our spate of just mechanical error, human error, child error. This is a long locomotive. Also, I haven't thought about. I'm not a big fan of the 9000s, but boy, they are some long machines. They're long.
I mean,
boys.
they're designed for they're designed for the plains where corners are not really an issue.
Yeah, tell that to the model designers who made the model articulated, because it had to get around corners.
Well, I mean, this thing did have lateral movement devices.
Somehow I don't think they were quite as pronounced as what I saw at the Providence Northern the other day.
No, yeah. But like the very front and the rear most wheel sets, they can move 2 inches from to either side.
I think
this thing only has 3 flanged axles.
Yeah, I think
the HO scale version can also move 2 inches per side. And unfortunately, no, I don't have a photo. You're going to have to track somebody down with one of these or has a photo of these in model form. They're a little wacky. Yeah. Anyway, this is Loco Royale. It's a game where we compare statistics and style. There are 4 rounds, which will start right now with East. What is your first stat call?
All right. Let's get this kicked off.
I wonder.
Yeah, let's do.
I smell a weight stack coming.
Yeah, I can only imagine this. I bet this is also probably this is a narrow gauge engine, isn't it? This is Cape gauge or something.
Yes, let's do driver wheelbase.
All right, driver wheelbase. Going once, going twice. Okay.
I'm going to have to veto that.
Okay, veto from Fort Master, which is a really smart play, considering. It's also rigid wheelbase, and I was going to have to tell everyone with the Malays to please divide your number in half because Locobase does the thing, blah, blah, blah. Alright, East. So that was a bust. Good try, though. What's next? I was going to announce, I was going to remind everyone that everybody has one veto and blah, 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 but it's okay. Fort remembered.
Yeah.
Let's look at that
Minimum weight of rail.
Minimum weight of rail, huh? Going once? Going twice? Yeah, that's a good call. Minimum weight of rail for the Cape Gauge locomotive. I can only imagine. Well, listen, the big engines here, they've got plenty of axles to spread that power out. I'm sure it'll spread that weight out. I'm sure it'll be nowhere
But they're
close.
all still very big.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine for East and Kaiserin.
It's fine.
All right, East. What is your minimum weight of rail?
51.
51. Boy, that's low. Okay.
Oh, I know what he was going to say.
Mew,
The category of boy that's high, 141.
141. Pennsylvania
I suddenly
Standard has entered the chat.
I suddenly feel a lot better about myself.
Yeah, you don't need to lose as much weight. All right, Kaiserin.
Not too. It's not. Well, I mean, it is a Pennsy locomotive, but it's not Pennsy standard. 99.
99. All right, under 100. I feel like this will. We have no more under 100s to go. Mopac. 113. 113. Of course, it's
Oh,
113.
All right. Well, we know who's the biggest here.
So, Ellis, do you know how you said there weren't any more below 100?
Are you under 100?
98.
98.
Oh.
No way. Okay.
I would not have expected.
I would not have bet on that. All right.
Oh
well,
my god!
5 points for East, and then there's a approximately 50-pound gap, and then 4 points for Fort, 3 points for Kaiserin, 2 points for Mopac, and 1 point for Mew. The Allegheny, famed as like one of the heaviest locomotives ever built. So, no surprise
Definitely living up to its name.
on the 1
Does
point.
anyone know how much it actually weighed?
A lot.
Well, we can get
Because
to that.
there's like 3 different numbers on the internet.
Well, whatever the Steam logo page lists.
Yeah, obviously
is.
it's that one. The
Allegedly.
Loco base has never been wrong.
Yeah, clearly.
All right, Mew, what's your stat call?
Loco base ID.
Oh, speaking of which,
Oh.
going once,
Oh, okay.
going twice. All right, no one's crazy enough to veto Loco base ID. Top of the list. East.
Not particularly confident in this, but I'm just kind of hoping something like the DNH thing is
3
high.
digits or 4.
Oh, and Mopac?
3867.
3867.
I was just going to say, you can just, if you just type in but don't click enter, you can have your fill bar gray, but it won't show what you're typing in.
Yeah, and so then when you hit enter, it'll show it to me. Mew.
304. Enter.
304. Nice. Okay. Kaiserin, this is a Mikado, so
32.
yeah, 32. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
that'll
good
do it, you're
lord.
right, yeah.
The very first round of things put into Locobase are all Mikados. All right, Mopac.
The DNH thing's number is not actually that high.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
338. Not bad. Fort.
I'm just having to double check this because 290.
290. Wow. That's gonna net you a
Damn
nice
you.
4 points. 5 points to the Pensy thing. 4 points to the Union Pacific Extremely Long Boy. 3 points to the heaviest locomotive in the world. 2 points to the best looking Challenger. Okay, I'm not sure that's accurate, but whatever. It's DNH. 1 point to EP. Kaiserin. What is your first stat call?
Well, my first stat call was going to be Loco base ID,
That would have been a good one.
but I think I'm gonna go with Builder.
Builder, huh?
Alright, hold up. I have one question before I maybe veto this.
Okay.
So I asked Tyler, and he said that
Oh boy.
I asked him about this,
Here
and
we
he
go.
said that the U.S. government ranks above all.
I don't. Number one, based on a conversation that I had with Tyler, I don't know about that. And number two, unless he writes it in the list, I don't think so. Uh, U.S. government, huh? Well, going once.
Then
Going.
I'm gonna veto it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you sparing me the headache, but damn, that would have been a good play from Kaiserin. All right, Kaiserin, what else are you? What else are you? What else are you gonna do?
Is probably going to get me, but at least I'll get a 4. Number built.
Number built. Going once. Going twice. All right, sold. Number built. I actually am. I'm surprised it is the third stat call, and we have 2 vetoes off the board already. That's alarming.
This game's going to be exciting.
Yeah. There are definitely some shenanigans that could ensue in the future. All right.
Well, it's not like Katachi's gonna net me a 5 here.
Yeah, we had whatchamahoo's a conversation about number built and number in class on, I think, this locomotive, was it, before the show started, East?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see the number.
215.
215. Yeah, that's quite a few. How many Alleghenies were there?
45.
45. How many L1s were there? I know it's a lot.
I'm sorry, East. I knew for some reason it's Asian. It's got to have a lot built, but I didn't think it would be that low. 574.
574 L1s.
The
Oh my
Xerox
god.
Railroad of the world.
All right, not Mew, Mopac.
More than you would think, but not enough.
Oh, 40. Not great. And how many 9,000s were there?
Well, I was going to see if I could try to make a joke saying there were over 9,000, but no, it's about 7 dozen.
7 dozen. Never say that again. All right. I need you to report all your units from now in fractions of a baker's dozen. No, 5 points for Kaiserin, which was, of course, a good play. 4 points for East. 3 points for the 9,000s, which I wouldn't have bet on. 2 points for the Allegheny, and 1 point for the DNH, which still 40 of them is quite a few.
I'm going to start betting on the 9,000 class.
Yeah, it is somehow acting as a good middle of the road locomotive. There are very few circumstances in which the 9,000 class is the middle of the road, but here we are.
I am so shocked that knock on wood so far, but I'm so shocked I'm doing as well as I actually am.
All right.
From all of your guys' talk, I thought this thing sucked.
Anyway, Mopac, what's your first stat call?
It might be a gamble, but I'm going to go with diameter.
All right, driver diameter. Going once. Going twice. Yeah, if there's one thing I can say, it's that none of the locomotives here strike me as having large drivers. Except for maybe East's. What's yours?
Almost 69.
68.9. Okay. Yeah, that tracks.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, that is almost 69.
Mew?
Oof, 67.
67. That's bigger than... again, to underscore how enormous this locomotive is, those drivers look like they're 56-inch or something. Kaiserin?
62.
62. Mopac?
Hey, remember when you said that metric conversion would get someone one of these days?
Are you 69? Nice.
69, nice. Okay, and Fort.
Hey, Mew, do you think we can share parts?
Wow.
67 inches. Okay. So we have a tie, but 5 points goes to the DNH, 4 points goes to the Taiwanese locomotive. 3 points apiece for the 9000 class and the Allegheny, which I just showed in the wrong order. And, unfortunately, 1 point for Kaiserin. Fort.
Okay, so I'm kind of flip-flopping on stats here. I don't know what I should choose. You know what? I'm gonna go. Oh, wait a minute. No, actually, okay, I'm gonna go in the curveball here because I want to see how this actually plays out because I'm curious. I'm gonna call Great Area.
Ooh, great area. That is an interesting call. Going once, going twice. Yeah, let's see great area. East, I feel like you have a disadvantage here, being narrow gauge, but
GD. 27.22.
27.22. All right, thank you.
It's most
Mew,
135.2.
135.2. Or let me do this for you.
Thank you.
Kaiserin,
70.
70. Mopac.
we got 108.2.
Well, I expected it to be bigger. I'm not gonna lie. And
Wow.
and Fort.
Well, I'm sorry, Mopac, but 108.25.
What?
Wow.
Wow is right.
Come on.
Way to be those guys, UP. All right, 5 points for the Allegheny, which isn't that much of a surprise. 4 points for the 9000. A very close 3 points for the J95.
Very close.
2 points to the L1 and 1 point to the EP lad,
Baby.
the CT 270.
EP.
All right. So looking at the standings at the end of this round, we have the 9000 class out to an early lead. 16 points to the L1, 15 to the 270, and then 14. Oh, it goes down in order. 14 points to the Allegheny, and 13 points to the J95.
I'm incredibly surprised I'm not in last.
I got absolutely smoked.
The game is still young, but I will say Fort's performance so far is reminding me a lot of the Reading 113 in the very first Royale, where it just skated through on 3s and 4s and came out on top at the end.
I'm at a loss of words. I mean, I'm just I'm knocking on wood here, hoping that I don't jinx myself here.
And of the contestants here today, only East has already punched his ticket to the finale. So,
Ellis.
Yep.
Do you remember when I won the As the Crow Flies Royale? It's the same thing that I did. Is I bounced around on 4s and 3s the whole time.
Yeah,
and still won.
Being in the middle does have a distinct advantage in Royales to a point. It depends pretty heavily on what gets called, and it can depend on some other things too, but it's nice to be in the middle of the pack because you don't get done in by a bad set of points, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, and if you can pick up some of the unusual ones, like Loco base ID and number built and builder and valve gear and stuff like that, then you can have a really good run. Anyway, let's get on to round 2. East, what is your second stat call?
This is a very, very, very good question.
I wonder what it could be. Is there a non-exploded photo of this engine that exists?
Do you want one?
Maybe for later. I'm just asking for now.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I just like the EP photo.
It is a good photo. It's funny that we have 4 completely normal photographs and then one a slim.
EP.
Yeah. Anyway, don't mean to distract you too much. What's your stat call?
I'm gonna go with Engine wheelbase. Ooh.
Engine wheelbase. Going once. Going twice. Let us see. Engine wheelbase. East?
Oh,
Angina.
No, in Taiwan.
32.81.
Although by some manners of speaking, never mind.
Yeah, no, it's island China.
Yep.
It's east. No, wait.
That's how they got the name Chiland.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mew.
I'm in danger. 62.5.
62.5. Okay, I mean that's not that outrageous, but it is pretty long. Kaiserin.
36.37.
36.37. Mopac.
Smaller than the Allegheny.
59.92. Yeah, that is a little smaller. Ford.
Smaller than the Challenger, 52.33.
Look at that, another
Come on.
3 for the 9000 class. 5 points to the narrow gauger, 4 points to the Mikado, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1 to the very large engines. I'm going to adjust the volumes just a hair as I do. Mew, what is your second stat call?
High pressure cylinders.
High pressure cylinders. Going once, going twice. You certainly have a lot of them. High pressure cylinders. And they are going to be over on the right in column V. High pressure cylinders is V24. And I'll see them as they come in. Those are some 27s, a 20.5, a 22.5 diameter. Wow. 4 strokes are 30 and over. Alright, let's see the results. That is 5 points to the Allegheny. Not a surprise, with 4 22.5 by 33 cylinders. Far and away the largest. Second up is the other locomotive with 4 high-pressure cylinders. The J95 with 4 20 by 5 or 20.5 by 32. Third place goes to the Union Pacific 9000 class with a pair of 27 by 32s. Then we get down to the more normal-sized engines and 27 by 30 for the L1 and 2 points, and then 19.7 by 26 for the 270 class. Or, sorry,
Wait, did
yeah,
the
the
not-
270 class.
Did the UP one not have 3 cylinders? I thought it was 3 HPs. Okay, never mind.
Oh, man.
Someone's trying to make them not notice about low pressure
Yeah.
cylinders.
That was...
By the way,
that's-
if you don't have low pressure cylinders, I recommend saving your veto.
Yeah. The jig is up. The jig is up for it. That would have been a solid steal. I
was almost going to call that as my first step, but then I realized, wait a minute.
Yeah, there are 2. I mean, one of them is yours, but there are 2 vetoes off the board already. If they kept going at that rate, you would have had a prime opportunity at the end of the game to score a perfect stat. From the person with the only perfect victory in a Royale, I might remind. That was you, wasn't it, Fort?
I think, what was the engine I brought to that? It's been a
I
while.
don't remember, but it was a perfect victory. Kaiserin, what is your second stat call?
Okay, so this one's a bit weird, I know, but it gives me it gives me a gauge of what I'm going up against.
Alright.
I would like to call evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume.
Ooh, that's an interesting call, given the competition. Going once, going twice.
I'll go ahead and veto that.
Okay, and there's a veto from Mopac. Evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume. I also thought that would have been an interesting play, just for the sake of, finding out. I might consider it later. Kaiserin, what is your second choice?
Let's go with tubes.
Tubes. All right. Tubes going once, going twice. Let's see tubes. Back on the right. That is cell V45. Okay, and that's East. Do you want to tell me yours right off the bat?
84 by 2. I have no shame in hiding it because I don't think anyone's beating 2 inches.
No, I don't think
Somebody-
so either.
Because 2.5 or 2.25 is very typical for
Lie
my
or
ends.
something, but it doesn't matter. So.
Mew?
Yeah,
No, hold on,
48 by 2 1/4.
48 is so few.
No, hold up. Hey, somebody is
Somebody just wrote
erasing
over
mine.
Kaiserin's number.
Oh, did I? Oh, that's my. Oh, never. That's my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I thought that was
Shenanigans.
myself.
Alright, Kaiserin, what have you got?
I have 237 at 2.25.
Alright. Mopac?
I have 222 at 2.25.
Alright. And finally, Fort?
40 at 3.5.
Ouch. 3.5 means an instant one. But 5 points to Eastrail, 4 points to the Pensy, 3 points to the DNH, 2 points to Mew and the Allegheny, and 1 point to Fort and the 9000 class. So, yeah, that was a reasonably good play. 4 points on your own stat. That ain't too bad. Mopac, what is your second stat call?
That is a good question. Because anything I call, the Allegheny's going to do better.
I know, I thought you had a couple of advantages, but no, not quite.
Not really.
Well, we could try skirting through on 4s and 3s again.
Oh, we'll see
I
how...
got it. I'm going to do boiler. I'm going to do boiler pressure.
Ooh, boiler pressure. The DNH did like their high-pressure experiments. Going once, going twice. Someday,
The only thing I'm concerned about is Fort.
someday somebody's got to bring one of the DNH high-pressure engines to this. I know that someone in this group of people has a stat sheet for a very high-pressure engine, which breaks certain calculations, but we'll not worry about that right now. East?
228.
228, not bad. Mew?
260.
260, wow, that's high. Kaiserin?
Very small comparatively. 205.
205, at least you made it over 200. I was expecting 190. Mopac?
285.
285, wow, that's pretty good. And Fort?
At least I'm not in last. 220.
220,
Uh-huh.
okay. Okay.
I don't know how my 1930s engine has beaten out.
Well, it depends on what the competition really is. Which,
Well, okay, the Penty engine is old, but like,
yes.
I thought the 9000s were like a lot newer.
Oh, big boiler, less pressure might just be easier. Who knows? 5
The
points.
limitations of young Valkyrie.
5 points for the DNH, 4 points for the Allegheny, 3 points for the... What is this thing, by the way? Is this a Mikado? Because it's a C...
Oh, my thing?
C something. Yeah, what is it?
It's a Pacific.
Oh, it's a Pacific. Oh, okay. Oh, it's... Okay. I don't... Oh, because D is Mikado, right?
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm still learning. 2 points...
Culture.
2 points for the 9000 class, and 1 point for the actual Mikado, the L1. All right, for
I'll send a slightly less EP image of it.
yeah, I would
Okay.
like to see the side.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with ratio of driving wheelbase to overall engine wheelbase.
I'm gonna just keep the non-EP one up on the screen for now. All right,
Aw.
wheelbase ratio going once, going twice. This gets screwy with the
Articulated.
local base calculations, yeah, and I'm still not exactly sure how to reconcile it. I was grappling with that earlier, trying to make up the DDA 40X card for batch 3. By the way, buy trading cards. So wheelbase ratio, East.
Not particularly great, but I mean, it's pretty good for Pacific. 0.38.
0.38. Okay.
I
Let's
heard a chuckle. I don't know if that's good or not.
let's hear Muse.
I'm gonna say not that good. Coincidentally, also 0.38.
Ooh.
That's
Oh, okay.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a number.
So just to clear the air for everybody here, Loco Base takes the two wheelbases of the two driver sets, adds them together, and then considers that the full driver wheelbase. So it doesn't even include the space between the two driver sets as if they were right next to one another. It sort of assumes that first and last wheel of the two driver sets overlap, which is why I take a little bit of umbrage with that and this calculation, but whatever. We found our way around it, and this is just it's just one of those stats now that gets a little weird.
Live by the stat sheet, die by the stat sheet.
Yes, Kaiserin, what is your number?
0.47.
0.47. Okay, a normal engine with a normal number. I appreciate that. Mopac.
I don't really know how to feel about this number.
0.41, huh? Okay, not bad. And Fort.
Well, my plan was to make up for the one I got on tubes, and it appears that I succeeded. 0.59.
Yeah, you do have a lot of wheels, huh?
I think the articulated engine should be ducted 0.04
Yeah,
for extra space in between the drivers.
yeah. Well, no, that would do the opposite. It would make their number larger.
Oh,
So, yeah. Anyway, 5 points for the 9000 class, 4 points for the Mikado, 3 points for the D&H Challenger, and 2 points for the remaining locomotives. 2 locomotives that I thought we would never see tie on anything. Also, is this photo of 271 before or after the wreck?
after.
Yeah,
I think.
the crunched air tank definitely made me think after.
But you see, Ellis, that is not an air tank.
Is that like a life preserver for when it goes to the
No,
mainland or
that's-
It's a
something?
crumple
It's
zone.
the pillow.
That's the feed water heater.
It's a pillow for when it's EP.
Oh my god. Anyhow, gentlemen, can you stop blowing up locomotives?
No,
Well, we
This
didn't do
one
it.
was children's fault. This is the best con imagine.
Tyler.
See.
It is
Tyler,
the children who are wrong.
Tyler, I keep surviving, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Oh no.
Anyway, we're at the end of
We are
round 2. Welcome,
Tyler,
Tyler.
we are awaited in Valhalla.
Yeah, we are at the end of round 2. Welcome, Tyler, the technical advisor, to get you up to speed. In the lead right now remains the Union Pacific 9000 class. Didn't have too hot of a round, but did still hang on with 32 points. 31 points apiece for both the PRR L1 and the 270 class, or the 271 here. 30 points to the D&H Challenger, and 28 points to the Allegheny, which is proving maybe just a little too big for its own good. Also, that massive trailing truck doesn't help you much when it comes to wheelbase ratios.
You know what's funny?
What?
If you try to find images of this engine, you get mostly like CT scan results, and
What?
then this image.
What? Oh no!
Oh.
No, because it's the CT class, so it's like CT scan results. Like if you want to see random people's brains, you can just
So now that you're here, Tyler, do you have any thoughts on the current state of the competition? Is there anything that surprises you?
There is something that doesn't surprise me, and that's the Allegheny being last. I'm sorry. The thing caused a lawsuit in real life. It's
Hold on. Excuse me?
the
Yeah.
weight of it, Lima.
Yep, Lima had to pay out like $3 million.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice job.
It's pretty fucking funny because it's just Lima being Lima.
Lima balls.
Speaking of Tyler, the USMC definitely.
Oh, for back to this. Oh my god.
For the record, Builder got vetoed.
Yeah, I vetoed it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No, Hitachi's not beating anything here.
I am not.
Well, wait a minute.
going
Let me look at the list
to-
because Hitachi's on the list.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to adjust the list further right now. I swear.
Yeah, I need to. Anyway, should I put you? Never. I'm not even gonna ask. East, what is your third stat call? Now that we have a photo of your engine right side up, I can get a better idea of what's going on here. It is an interesting looking locomotive that looks like its boiler is about 4 feet too short.
Hey, I like these things.
What? No
Does it-
way.
Wait on drivers.
Wait on drivers. Going once. Going twice.
My turn to veto.
All right, there's a veto from you. Not particularly surprised there. Wait on drivers.
Given what we literally just talked about.
Yep.
Yep, that was just discussed.
Number of
Well,
lawsuits per mile. That's a stat.
I mean, I can use anything but kilometers an hour.
Lost wages.
I'm gonna go ahead and do engine weight.
Engine weight. Going once. Going twice. Yeah, I get the feeling the only person with a veto left would not veto a weight stat.
Yeah.
Engine weight. East?
148, 812.
148, 812. Okay. Mew.
Well,
Let's
hold
see
on.
the lawsuit.
Ka-ching.
DLV.
There it is. Yeah, 771,330.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, just
Allegedly.
300.
Yeah, allegedly. Kaiserin, let's hear a rational number.
315,000.
No lawsuits involved. How about the D&H thing?
Good enough for 2.
Okay. 597,000. And finally, Fort.
496,500.
Mopac was right. 5 points to the Taiwanese thing, 4 points to the Pensy thing, 3 points to the UP thing, 2 points to the D&H thing, and 1 point to... Who owned these again?
Me?
No, the Alleghenies. This was CNO?
Oh.
Yep, Chesty.
Okay, I should
Virginia had
have
some too.
I should have guessed by the arrangement of the sand domes and feeder lines. It's a very CNO thing. It's a lot of sand. Anyway, continuing a relatively common practice thus far of the person with the 1 getting to call the next stat, Mew,
Firebox area.
firebox area. Going once. Going twice. Alright. Yeah, let's see firebox area. This is going to be an interesting one. Well, not all that interesting anyway. But
My guess is 1/7 of the Allegheny.
do you not have this?
No, I do. 133.42.
Okay.
Uh,
So let's see the 7 times that number.
I think it actually is.
You're just a bit over 1/7. 762.
Okay.
It's like a 6.
Yeah, close enough.
You were off by a fraction.
Although you did go over, so no points. Kaiserin,
301 and a half.
301.5. That's a respectable value to get a 2. Mopac,
Decent sized.
633. It does help if you say it out loud.
Oh, 6. Sorry.
Fort,
591.
591. That's okay. We're getting the hang of things here. 5 points for the Allegheny, which also, once again, not surprising. 4 points to the D&H thing. 3 points to the 9000 class, 2 to the Mikado, and 1 to the Pacific. None of these numbers are surprising to me. Kaiserin, what is your third stat call?
Let me look. Uh, I'm sad to admit I am kind of screwed.
I think you've got at least one more good point in you, if not two.
Ooh, number and class.
There's one. Going once, going twice. Yeah, let's see numbering class. And this is the discussion that I had with East earlier. East?
Same.
How many of these made it to Taiwan?
14.
14. Wow. Ooh, that's not going to be a great outcome on the point side. Alleghenies.
How does local base determine number and class?
That's a good question.
Because technically there were another 15 that were built a bit lighter, and yet they're not, and yet all of them were considered H8s. Local base lists them as separate.
Well, that's
maybe because there's enough differences.
Sometimes it
Maybe.
just be like that. I know when I make up the trading cards, I try to standardize it as the numbering class is what the railroad considered, and the number built is what the builder considered.
Fair enough. 45.
45. So you can have classes larger than number built because you have a bunch of classes, functionally a bunch of classes that are lumped into one designation, and the railroad goes, yeah, these are all, whatevers. These are all C5s, and yeah, it doesn't matter that these three are lighter than the others. They're all C5s. Anyway, numbering class from Kaiserin.
574.
574.
That's to be expected.
Yep. DNH. Mopac.
40.
40 once again. And finally, from the Union Pacific corner.
My number has not changed. 88.
88 miles an hour. Probably not with these things. 5 points for the Pensy, 4 points for the Union Pacific, 3 points for the C&O, 2 points for the DNH, and 1 point for the... What railroad actually ran these? Was it like Taiwan State Railways or something?
Yep.
Well, yeah.
The TRA, Taiwan Railway Administration, I believe.
The
But
U.S. Marine Corps.
under Japanese control, it was... Well, actually, it was probably still the
It would be
TRA.
TRA.
Yeah, TRA, something like that.
Run by the CBs. Anyway,
The EBGBs?
Mopac, what is your third stat call?
I think I'm going to go with factor of adhesion.
Ooh, factor of adhesion. Going once. Going twice. Yeah, let's see factor of adhesion. And it's over in the blue for the people typing in. Factor of adhesion,
Was it?
V38.
This is going to be funny.
Starting with East.
No, it's gonna be painful, because the one thing the Japanese were not very good at is factor of adhesion.
Uh-oh.
3.21.
Oh! Slippy problems. Mew.
Oof. Not that mine's much better. 4.61.
0.61 is pretty rough. Although, with all the overweight problems, I don't know if I expected it to be worse or not. How about the Mikado? Kaiserin?
I don't know. I mean, it's close to 4, but not exactly. 3.87.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not too bad, anyway. Let's hear it from the DNH.
I got 4.3.
4.3. Relatively
that's
round
the
number.
5.
I need to add a 0.
Nah, it doesn't. It'll hide it anyway. It's not a big deal. 4.3 and 4. Did you say something about a 5?
No, I said Mopac got the 5 because I have 3.66.
3.66. Actually,
Pain.
Kaiserin got the 5. being only
right. Okay, never mind.
0.13 off. 4 points to Mopac, 3 points to Fort, 2 to Mew, and 1 to East Rail. The Slippy Pacific. Anyway, Fort, you're up with the last stat call of this round.
You know what? This is another stat that I'm actually kind of curious of because I'm looking at my stat sheet and I'm scratching my head. So I think I'm going to go with flues.
Flues. Okay. Considering you had a
Very
rough time with
interesting.
tubes, this is an interesting call, yeah. Going once? Going twice?
I'm gonna veto that.
Oh, we got the final veto off the board for tubes.
Damn it.
Last call of the third round. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Thank you,
this is-
Kaiser.
Vetoes went
This
fast.
is dangerous.
So
This is
since
gonna be a very bad round for me.
Yeah, everyone knows what happens now. Fort?
I'm gonna call low pressure cylinders.
Oh, Kaiser.
Oh boy. I thought Kaiserin was hanging on to that to prevent low pressure cylinders, but here we are. Low pressure cylinders. Let's just go around the horn
Don't
really
put-
quick. Thank you, East.
You're welcome.
But I'm gonna have to do that.
Aww.
Nobody else is hiding any low pressure cylinders, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. So anyway,
Wait, hold on.
that's 5 points. Don't write anything in. That's 5
Oh.
points for. Actually, I don't think it even matters because everyone else has. Yeah, no,
I
it's
just wanted
it's
to do it for the
it's
funny.
Just
No, you don't
inflation.
put anything else
Yeah.
in there because it all gives 4s instead of 1s.
yeah.
Oh.
So, stop putting things in hose. I was just checking to see how it would work out, and yeah. So simple locomotives are considered as not having the stat, I believe, according to the rules here, which I am double checking because sometimes I forget what I write down.
You codify things and you forget how you codified.
Yeah,
Boy.
it says non-compound locomotives are considered to be. It says non-compound locomotives are considered to be 0 by 0, which
Oh.
isn't what we expected here.
The rules are the rules.
That is what I wrote down, although I don't think that's what I meant to write down, or what that's not what I was intending here. So stop filling this out. Stop it.
We're just abiding by the rules.
Technically, it's the difference between.
Technically, it's the rules.
Stop being sore
It is
winner
the
or
rules.
loser.
It is the rules.
Technically,
It is the difference
Technically, it is
between 1
the
point and
rules,
4.
which, in fairness, I think we will have to abide by. So
I have to add the rule of no more royales.
no. So in that case, Fort gets a 5 and everybody else gets a 4, which isn't the devastating blow that I expected here, but that is what I wrote down, and I guess.
Or you might just need to update your code on the stat sheet in this one part.
No, see, the thing is,
This is an update to the rules, not the code.
no, the thing is, you get an automatic 1 when you don't have the stat, as in you don't know what it is. In this case, we do know what it is. It's 0. So that does follow the trend that
Yeah,
I was
like-
going for.
Tank engines with
Zero is a
10 to
number.
loader weight.
Anyway, that in that case, that is 5 points for Fort and 4 points for everyone else. I'm going to
Rip
ruminate on
Fort.
that some more, but it's not. Let's see. Let me.
It's not a nuke anymore if you don't fix it.
Non-compound locomotives, and then the other one that should be here. Yeah, non-series saturated locomotives are considered to be 0. It's something that I'm going to need to think about, because I'm not entirely sure how it should work. I like the idea of it being a nuke, but on the other hand, I like the idea of it being, well, it's worth effectively no more than just the style point that it could have been, which encourages you, if you are in this competition, you're basically only fighting against the locomotives that are... you have more leverage as a compound if there are more compounds in the game. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it. It's the way it be. That doesn't exactly keep Fort from being in the lead, although he's not in first place anymore. 51 points for the L1, putting Kaiserin in the lead. 50 points for Fort in second place. 46 for the D&H Challenger in third place. And then 43 for each of the remaining locomotives. And we can have a discussion on how things are going to work out for future Royales in this context for the future, but for now, I did write that down, and that's what we'll stick with. All that said, the playing field is still pretty tight. There's an 8-point gap between the top and the bottom. There's a tie at the bottom, and there's almost a tie at the top. And we're going to the fourth round here. Tyler, do you have anything on the brain?
I am still surprised that everyone used their vetoes by now.
I know, right? There were 2 vetoes gone by the third stat call.
What are you...
Somebody called rigid wheelbase. I had to.
It's a very fair point.
I think I caused 2 of them going like straight in. Well, technically, I was responsible for all 3 of the vetoes.
Good job, East.
Well, now we have no more vetoes, and a relatively...
Here's when my trump card comes out, maybe.
And a relatively tight field. What is your trump card, East?
Axle loading.
Axle loading.
Nah.
Not as much of a chaotic bomb as it could have been. But
so wait, if you don't have this, does it count as an automatic one?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Let's
that's...
see who has axle loading.
Yeah, for stats that you don't know, that's saving the vetoes for those. Going once, going twice, axle loading.
30,000 to 58.
30,000, huh? Yeah, not a surprise on this thing. Axle loading of the Allegheny.
86,700.
86,000, huh? Alright, axle loading of the L1.
59,000.
59,000. Axle loading of the J95.
I do not have axle loading.
Alright, we'll leave it blank. Axle loading of the 9,000 class.
Hey, Kaiser. 60,000.
Whoa! We did have that very close minimum weight of rail, so here we are. 5 points for the Taiwanese thing, 4 points for the Pensy thing, 3 points for the 9,000 class, which is a surprise, but not that much of a surprise if you've been paying attention. 2 points for the Allegheny, unfortunately, because the D&H does not have the stat. Mew, what is your final stat call?
Let's go power. I choose same as above, but substitute firebox area for great area.
Firebox area for great area, huh? Going once, going twice. Same as above, but substitute firebox area for great area. This is going to be a very large number, I feel like. East.
$38.25.
38,025. Mew.
259,537.
Holy crap, that's 250,000. That is a very large number. Alright, Kaiserin.
Great number.
75,405.
75,405. Not bad. About double what the Taiwanese thing has. Mopac.
Oh, yeah, I got 223,702.
223,
So let me
you
type it in.
said.
Yeah,
That's
7.
pretty big. That's a pretty respectable number. Let's hear it from the 9,000 class.
169 and
Nice.
26.
That's
Nice.
not as impressive. 5 points to the Allegheny, 4 points to the J95, 3 to the 9,000 class, 2 to the L1, and 1 to the 270. Kaiserin, what is your final stat call?
Well, I have nothing left to lose.
Uh-oh.
Well, actually, I have the game to lose, but I just don't know.
Oh boy.
Don't know.
It's a.
So I'm going to throw the Allegheny something. No, I'm not.
I was about to say,
Psych.
excuse me?
I cry every time.
You know what? I think I will do Mew a favor. Tractive effort.
Tractive
Thank
effort.
you.
Going once. Oh shoot, this broke. Going once. Going twice. Tractive effort, huh? I would have just gone with something small. Worst case scenario, it hurts East a little bit, but let's hear tractive effort.
28,382.
28,382. Fleet but feeble, perhaps.
Pain.
Mew, tractive effort?
More than less than 4 times of East one. 110 to 11.
110
That is
to 11.
a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
Yeah, we definitely have had
The,
larger numbers.
the Allegheny was more about power than tractive effort.
I suppose so. How about the L1?
61,465.
61,465. Okay. How about the J95?
94,428.
Still less than the Allegheny. The way that works out is interesting. And let's hear it from the 9,000 class. Fort?
Well, 96,646.
More than the J95. Wow. Okay, so 5 points to the Allegheny. Not unexpected. 4 points to 9,000 class, 3 points to the DNH, 2 points to the PRR locomotive, and 1 point to the 271. So, yeah. I wonder if that worked out how you expected it to, Kaiserin.
Oh yeah, it did. I mean, like I said before, I'm just here to have fun. But you know,
Thank you, Kaiserin.
Collusion. Mopac,
The-
what is your final stat call?
You see, anything I call the Allegheny will do slightly better than me.
Caller waits that
And
down.
Yeah, that's true. There are some
if you-
things.
There are some things that the Allegheny will do worse in, such as weight. You could also
at
go
least
for
it's
a more
5.
wild card one, like Zia or something.
Let's see.
Let's do tender water capacity.
Oh, tender water capacity.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
All right, going once, going twice. Tender water capacity.
Tyler, you're gonna have to look into your
start
books
off,
for this one.
let us remember that the C&O thing has the exact same tender as that giant, or I'm pretty sure has the exact same tender as that giant Hudson I brought.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh boy. Well, let's find out. East, what is your tender water capacity, if you have
We
it?
have to wait on Tyler for that answer.
Oh, great.
Dun, 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 dun,
All right. Well, Tyler figures that out. We'll come back to you. How about the Allegheny?
25,000.
25,000. That's a pretty big tender. How about the L1?
7,000.
7,000. Yeah, it's a little tender that it survives with, I think. Not a coast to coast by any stretch. How about the J95?
Slightly less. 22,500.
22.5. Okay. And the Union Pacific Vanderbilt tender.
I was expecting this to be a bit bigger, given that this was designed to work in the plains, but 18,000.
And I will recall the failing of Vanderbilt tenders, which is that cylinder is less volume than rectangular prism, given the same constraints. You don't have corners
stats
for it.
fitting
That's
too.
your problem. Anyway, do we have a number from Tyler?
I am still
Dun, dun,
trying
dun,
to
dun,
do
dun,
that.
dun.
I have a good idea, but let me see if this site has it listed real quick.
He's just lucky that Tyler likes him. And also this locomotive. Perhaps more importantly, this locomotive.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about collusion.
Yeah. That's why...
Well, also, East bought me a book. Well, not bought me. I bought from him, but he got it from the East. East getting stuff from the East. What's that? Incapacity CW. 12 tons of water.
Excuse
That's gonna
me?
need a conversion.
I swear, this is like when I was trying to figure out the Lithuanian
capacity,
things.
Hold on.
wait,
12
in
tons of water to
meters-
gallons.
Okay, wait. Let's see.
doing that
I
when
assume
there's
this is
Cold
metric
water.
gallons.
Cold water. No, okay. 17 meters cubed of
Metric
water.
gallons?
I have to. Oh my god. Okay, so that's 17,000 liters.
Hold on. 12.
That is
convert.
4,490.92 US gallons.
Okay, either way, it loses. I punched it into a converter, and I got 3,200, but maybe different kinds of
Yeah.
tons or whatever.
It's not tons. I was reading that weird because they got it listed cold and water on the same line.
Okay, so it's not 12
I
tons
thought
of
they were
water.
Yeah, it's 12 tons of coal, 17 meters cubed of water.
Isn't this how they measure, like, airplane fuel? They measure it in weight, because that's what matters the most. Anyway,
Yeah.
so this thing flew is what I'm getting at. 5
Well,
points
yeah.
for the Allegheny, which shouldn't surprise anybody. 4 points to the D&H, 3 points to the 9000 class, 2 points to the L1, and 1 point to the 271.
I mean, it technically did fly, if you think about it.
It flew off the track.
Yeah.
These flew.
Anyway, Fort, final stat call, what's it going to be?
Okay. See, I don't really know what. I don't think I have anything that's like a surefire 5 for me. So,
I mean, I can think of like 4 things, but
Well, I'm going. I mean, granted, we have these 2 giant articulateds here, so
fair.
Oh man, there's one that could have done, but it was vetoed, and I kind of am curious about it. Anyway, what are you going to do for it?
Well, I mean, there's always host choice afterwards. But anyway, evaporative heating surface.
Evaporative heating surface. Going once, going twice. Evaporative heating surface.
The wonderful year of
I-
the 271.
I'll be honest, I don't think I will be doing the evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume unless Tyler really feels like it's a good idea, because I don't like the 9000 class that much, and also you've been in the lead for most of this. All right, 1371, huh?
9,000.
Let's hear it from the Allegheny.
7240.
7240. How about the L1?
4035.
4035. The D&H?
5389.
5389. Yeah, it's less than I would have hoped. I think the boiler barrel on this is a little narrow. Finally, Fort.
5853.
5853. Still putting one over on the D&H. That seems to be the theme of this between
It really
you
is.
and Mopac. But 5 points. This is the exact same as last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's see the scores.
And time to get eliminated from Southpoint.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch. That's a rough round. 47 points for the 9,000 class.
67.
Or sorry, 67, not 47. Yes, my bad. 67 points, putting it in the lead. 65 points, putting the Allegheny in second. 63 for the L1. 61 for the D&H. That is a perfect, like, it's equally distributed there, evenly distributed. And then there is a gap of 11 points from that down to the 271. You had a terrific round in the worst way.
Yeah, mostly because Kaiser didn't call a stat.
Yeah,
Stat.
I didn't even notice that was happening. That's rough. But here we are. Tyler, what should we do for host choice? I don't think it's mathematically possible for us to save the 270 class.
Yeah.
No, the gap is like 15 or 16 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once it gets to 15, it's literally impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Do something really funny.
So, who do I want?
Which is why
to
we should do
bully?
build. Well,
I mean, that knocks down the UP thing, right?
I don't actually know. Well, let's look at the standings here. Ignoring the 271, which it may go back to sleep now. The 9,000 class is in the lead, and the J95 is in the, well, not the last, the end, the caboose, but functionally last place. We have a couple of vetoed here, like rigid wheelbase, which would probably, it would knock the 9,000 class down a peg, and it would help out the challengers more than anything.
Why must you hurt me?
Because you're in the lead. Other than that, I mean, that is the one that looks to me like it plainly evens the field, or at least evens the field as best we can manage it. Tyler, what's on your mind?
U.S. Marine Corps.
God.
Valve gear.
I am not hashing out where the Marine Corps sits.
We could do valve gear,
Please.
which would help people that are not the 9,000 class.
Well, I'm not sure if it would really help that much.
Well, we have...
Pretty sure to help.
It would help. It would help one person incredibly well. But I feel like if they'd wanted that help, they should have called it themselves. Because you had all the vetoes off by round 3. You could have just done it for the meme. But no.
For the meme. Yeah, that's fair, I guess. Looking at the options here.
Yeah, I think we shall go with wheelbase.
Okay. Yeah, let's see rigid wheelbase, and I will remind everyone, reminding specifically the two challengers, please take your driver wheelbase and divide it by half, and then put it in, please. Rigid wheelbase, going once, going twice. East, you may put in your number if you wish.
You've misidentified me as a challenger, and I'm offended.
1247.
You're an overgrown challenger.
You're a challenger with one set of wheels in the wrong place. And lawsuits. You're a challenger that's gone into witness protection. Alright, Mew, what's your number?
Hold on, almost put something in the wrong one. Okay, after dividing isms, 11.835.
11.835 is not that bad. Okay, this is going to be the largest one here, and I feel bad about that. But second largest, I should say. Kaiserin?
17.04.
Oh, that's even longer than I thought. Damn. Okay. Mopac?
12.17.
12.17.
What?
Okay.
That's what I said.
And finally, Ford.
Okay, so I'm just before I type just before I put it in, I was just about to say I was about to put in engine wheelbase instead of driver wheelbase.
It's okay. The result would have been functionally the same.
I know, but it would have been really weird. But anyway, I'm 30.66.
It's all engines. Or it's all engine wheelbase. Always has been. So let's see the results here. That's 5 points for the Allegheny, 4 points for the Challenger, 3 points for the Pacific, 2 for the Mikado, and 1 for the... What is this thing called? What is the wheelbase? What is the wheel arrangement for a 412-2? Is it just a Union Pacific?
Yeah, I believe it's literally just what it's called, a Union Pacific, because they were the ones that invented it.
Yeah, I also noticed this the UP1 class, which makes me roll my eyes even harder.
I know, I was very confused when I looked this up. I was like, I thought these were called the 9000s.
No, I mean, they should have been called the FTT class, but whatever.
Also, can I just say one really weird live by the stat sheet, died by the stat sheet thing?
Sure, go on.
So, since we're not calling, like, actual stats anymore after this, my stat sheet says that my valve gear is wool shirts.
It is on the outside. I believe the young is for the internal cylinder only.
I thought they used Gresley.
They used Gresley conjugated.
Oh.
Yeah, for the third cylinder.
On the inside valve gear?
What matters is on the inside, and the inside is a fucking mess.
It's got a good personality.
Young, people saying young because UP 5511. Thinking about
that might be it. Anyway,
the P102.
This is where things shake out. The Allegheny is unfortunately in the lead now, with 70 points.
Surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
No, it's not.
No.
Second place with 68 points goes to the 9000 class, also unwelcome. 65 points to the two engines that I like and care about, and then 55 points to the 271, which it's a shame to see it have fallen so far, because it is pretty cute. But, oh well. Taiwan number 1.
Good. China number 1.
This show officially recognizes Taiwan. What?
Which Korea is best Korea?
Oh gosh.
Don't ask my hard drives. Anyway.
I'm glad that our podcast is now an official support for the People's Republic of Taiwan.
Anyway. Let's move on to style points. Kaiserin, you have the fewest points, so you are up first. Well, you have the fewest points, asterisk. You're sharing it with the DNH, but you're still up first. So, what have you got for style points? And no, blowing up is not one.
Because we'd all get one.
Darn.
Is Kaiserin... Kaiserin got ejected back to the audience. Hold on, let me get her back in here. Hi, Kaiserin.
I'm thinking it is technically still theoretically possible for me to win.
No.
It would just take everybody screwing everybody over.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I don't know how I got kicked out.
That's okay.
Well, I'm going to go with something that I know we all have, but, I mean, it is a style point.
Okay.
Power reverse.
Yeah, power reverse. That is definitely a point for you. And everyone that has power reverse, please give yourselves a point. Alright, what is your second style point, then?
I won't even ask Tyler. I'm not going to make him work when I'm folded.
I'm going to go with, let's see, electric headlight.
You do have an electric headlight.
Yeah.
Or dynamo / electric headlight. I think everyone here is new enough for that. Even the
Yes, everybody.
Yeah, even the Taiwanese thing. All right. What else have you got?
Knuckle coupler.
You do have a. Does everyone here have a knuckle? Oh yeah, yeah. The
Everybody
Taiwanese
has
thing
knuckles.
has a knuckle coupler. Okay.
Japan used knuckles. Taiwan used knuckles. It's
super effective.
They were real knuckleheads. All right. What else have you got?
You get a point for the
Okay,
next.
now this is a question for the technical advisor.
Oh no, I have to work.
Is this? I notice I'm looking at my picture of the locomotive. I've got an air tank over here behind the power reverse.
Yes,
Is this thing on the front an air tank?
it is an air tank indeed.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
see
only the
here.
Japanese did that.
A few other places.
Yeah, I was
did.
gonna say no. We've definitely
Actually,
seen
No,
another.
I know. I'm just making the bet.
It's the most honorable
Have
location.
I shown you the C10s set up for Super? Yeah.
We could talk about that later. Kaiserin?
I'm gonna go with. Let me find a picture of the back of it. I'm pretty sure I have a reversing headlight.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
So
Okay, the first one I can't claim.
I was gonna say, does anybody here not have a reverse headlight? It's tough.
Can you imagine this thing going backwards?
It's tough to tell. I mean, I can barely imagine it going forwards. All right,
I can barely manage it surviving a court case.
Kaiserin, fifth and final for this opportunity to call.
Let me see here.
I could think
I
of.
think I have marker lights.
You do have marker lights. You have very unusual marker lights. They're kind of interesting. I believe they are marker lights that are more akin to searchlight signals than your typical lamps that you sort of turn. It's interesting. But yeah, I think everyone here should have those, except for maybe the Japanese thing.
Wait, are marker lights any different from Mars lights?
Yes, they are different. Marker
Yes.
lights are the little corner lights that are colored. A Mars light
Okay.
is the red thing that goes woo woo.
Okay.
Anyway. Alright, so that moves us on to Mopac. What style points do you have?
Well, for certain, I know I have box.
You do have box drivers,
Rat.
which the Taiwanese thing also has, and that's it. So what's your second style point?
I've got the recessed headlight,
The recessed headlight, absolutely.
the DNH thing.
Yep, the turbo button. It makes it go faster. All right. What's your third style point?
I've got the air ringer.
You do have an air ringer.
Do I have an air ringer?
I would hope so. Where is
Very
your?
long run.
I don't think you have a manual ringer. I think you just have an air ringer.
I
Yeah.
can't tell. Do I have an air ringer? Technical
hell is
advisor.
Your bell is missing
I
in
don't
this
know where the
photo.
hell is that.
Let me see.
I think
Can I-
you.
404
I think
bell
you
not
should.
found.
But having an air ringer requires having a bell, so this photo doesn't help very much.
I am doing a little searchy search. I see the mounting bracket for an air ringer.
Okay, so you can take that air ringer point. And yeah, I think everyone else here, except for the Taiwanese thing, has an air ringer for their bell, because I'm not sure some of these bells can be physically hand rung.
That's a lot of
How
rope.
long the string is, yeah. All right, what is your fourth style point, Mopac?
I think I might have to ask Tyler about this, but I've heard about these things having a gains firebox wall.
What is that?
It's like a wall that goes like about a quarter to halfway up the firebox, I think.
It has gains, you say?
Oh god.
Big gains, bro.
For the DNH thing,
Yeah.
You mean it has
Let
a
me check.
feather in the firebox? It's full of water.
essentially, it would be a feather.
think-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you sacrifice a little bit of
increases-
grate area and you put some like air siphons behind it,
Yeah.
and it keeps the flames from touching the tube sheet.
All right. Yeah, I'll give you the point for having sick gains, bro. And if anybody has something like that, then also give yourselves a point, I suppose. Because that sounds pretty cool to me. And what is your fifth and final style point there, Mopac?
Oh no, I've got some roller bearings somewhere on this thing. I think they're just on the tender, but
Just on the tender, huh?
I don't see roller bearing journals on the tender.
I don't either. But I think your main axles might have roller bearings.
I think the rods are.
Oh, the rods? Okay. If the rods are, isn't that a good indicator that they would have put roller bearings on the main axles, or did some railroads just?
Some railroads are weird.
Yeah.
There is no set rule for when it comes to railroads. Like, you would not believe.
All right. Well, we'll just say roller bearing.
I have a feeling that I do not have roller bearings.
You do
I
not.
have a feeling that you are the angry black Coltrane to my Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
See, I've already pictured you as the seething black Coltrane. All right, we'll give the point for roller-bearing rods then, and I suppose the 9000 class and the Allegheny also have that?
I'm trying to see the picture I have.
I couldn't find
I'm not
anything about it
sure about the
online.
9000s.
Oh, okay.
I found roller bearings something else, but not rods.
Okay, well then maybe
so,
Mopac just gets this point solo, unless people can prove that they have some roller bearings on those rods of theirs, and that means we move off to the 9000 class.
Okay, well, because nobody else has said it yet, I'm gonna take the point for the having both a physical and a digital model.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I have.
Oh, you absolutely
I know I have
do.
physical.
You absolutely
know
have
for
both
points,
of those.
right?
Wait, I thought I thought the physical and digital were both worth half a point.
No.
Oh, that changed. Oh, okay.
No, they're each their own point. If you have a mass-produced physical model, not a live Steam model, that's different, and also a digital model, those are each worth 1 point. And yeah, Kaiser, and you absolutely have both of those things.
I have a digital model too.
I would love an L1. That'd be cool to have. I don't have any freight engines that I actually have runnable in HO. That's why I need to get
T1.
That's why I need to get one of those B&M T1s, the hoodies. Anyway, what is your third one then?
This one I'm gonna have to ask because I'm not sure. Would it be a style point to for the lateral motion devices so I can actually make it around curves?
Yes.
Yeah,
I would say so.
I would count that.
And I think you're the only locomotive here that's long enough to need them. So
the other one that got to that length served the Soviet Union, and the Soviets didn't think to do that.
Incredibly loud Soviet anthem.
Please don't call it us.
Anyway, all right. What's your fourth point?
Oh god. Now I'm scraping the barrel because I don't actually know that much about these engines. Oh no.
I just want to say that until this very style point, the D&H locomotive has got every single one.
Also, Fort, that would cost you 150 pp.
Gods of style.
Damn right.
Oh
No.
Stalin's paranoia is getting out of hand, guys.
You just killed Zhukov.
Oh no.
Actually, wait a second. I need to look at the pictures of the other engines we have here. Would head and throttle be one?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because of the
Do I
time.
have head and throttle?
Let's see. Let me look at the linkages
Mopac
here.
has one.
Yeah, the D&H has one. The PRR doesn't. And
9000 has it.
honestly, it's so big, I can only imagine that the Allegheny has it. You're not looking.
Yeah,
at
the
right side.
Allegheny. Yeah. Let me see here.
Why it look like that? Is this in Transport Fever?
I have no idea what it's in, but it is a digital model.
That's
Yeah, I think
Yeah, that's Transport Fever.
that's. I need to go download that.
Yeah,
I
it's
think I
the
found my
Allegheny
head and
has a
throttle.
head and throttle.
You know what?
It's like-
I'm hesitant to give the point for the model in Transport Fever, but I'll leave it for now. Because I
well,
want to.
there's other digital models.
Yeah. For a future style point. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Okay.
Okay. Wait a
What's
second.
your fifth and final
Oh, okay, so I don't actually know, but okay, I'm only saying this one as a joke. But could I get a style point for both my flues and my tubes being the exact same size?
No.
Okay, no, uh,
And I'm
yeah,
glad you. And you know what? Because you said I'm prefacing this as a joke. Even if the answer was yes, I would not have given you a point for it. So, because it's either you don't get points for it because it wasn't a real question, or it was a real question and it doesn't count and we move on. So,
Does that mean if your flues and your tubes are the same size that the 9000s are saturated?
no.
no, because they still have separate flues. They are
Well-
used as flues.
Or would you
For-
rather prefer for yourself that?
For it, in the time it took to make that joke, you ran out of time to call a style point.
Yeah, okay. Well, I couldn't think of another one, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, well, we're on to Mew then.
Okay. Tyler, question. I couldn't
Yes.
actually find anything explicit about the Allegheny, even though the Virginians had it, and it was a big thing of Lima superpower. Did these have thermic siphons?
Thermic siphons. Let me check.
It would blow my mind if they didn't.
I know, right?
I
But
feel like
couldn't
that's a
find
huge
anything
missed
explicit.
opportunity on this thing.
I think
Also,
they do, but let's see here. See,
Also, does the clock run while Tyler is checking?
Well, you already asked, so no.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
the clock
let me-
basically will. It ends when you make a call or, you know, whatever, and it starts when I go, give me your style point / stat. Although sometimes I
Fair.
started earlier if I know someone is ready and I'm just going to BS for a minute. And sometimes I start it later when I forget to turn the timer over. Not unlike Merchermania.
I'm having a hard time finding a piece that will tell me.
I want to just err on the side of yes because I can't imagine a world where these didn't have thermic siphons.
Yeah.
Uh,
I would give it to him.
Alright, you get the point for thermic siphons. If anybody else has thermic siphons, please give yourselves a point.
I
And
know
how do you
so,
tell
I
if
do.
you have thermic siphons?
What'd you say?
How do you tell if you have thermic siphons? I assume I
It's-
don't.
Yeah, you.
Inside the firebox.
Yeah.
That's, there's no outside pieces. You just know.
Yeah, I would have to say it somewhere. No, I don't think the L1 said thermic siphons. Basically, Steve and West do a good job of calling it out in the blurb for Steam Locomotive. So if it's going to say it anyway, it's going to say it there. Anyway, Mew, what is your second style point?
Okay. Unique tender in that I have one 6-wheel truck and one 8-wheel truck. And I can give the explanation.
I hate that.
I
However,
don't like it.
I will give you the points for better tender weight distribution because nobody here has a centipede.
For those who don't know, the reason was the CNO wanted to build this thing, but make sure it could fit on the largest turntables that they currently had. So they shrunk the tender, but that means more, weight immediately up above, so they had to put an 8-wheel truck in the back, just so they could fit.
That doesn't make me like it anymore. What's your third style point?
Okay, instead of roller bearing rods, roller bearing lead and trailing trucks.
You do have those.
I feel like that should have been called out earlier
Well-
so that we could have given half a style point for.
I would generally agree, but I gave the point specifically for roller bearing rods because we couldn't figure anything else out.
Alright.
So I'll let it go. Oh, that knocks
Oh.
Kaiserin out.
Whoops.
Ooh, sorry, Kaiser.
You wanna change that ruling there?
No, I don't, because the next one is just gonna do that. I feel bad. I wanted to see this thing win. I wanted to see Kaiserin win, but I guess I still have someone to live for. What is
Okay.
your fourth point? Mew.
My fourth point, lit number boards.
You do have the lighted number boards. You have the big ones.
I think I have those, don't I?
Let me look. Let's see who's got them. I mean, that thing
I
doesn't.
just have marker lights.
Kaiserin technically has lighted number boards, so you can give yourself that point if you want. The D&H doesn't because of the inset headlight. I mean, they do technically, I guess. You can give yourself half a point. Because the light will
Yay.
shine through those number boards, but they're not what I would call lighted number boards. And then the UP 100% has those. It has the train boards that are actually changeable and lighted. So, that counts. Alright. Mew, fifth and final.
Okay, can I say the largest steam locomotive to ever blow up?
To ever blow up.
I feel
No.
like that falls under blowing up.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to say no. We'll move on. So that goes
Okay.
back to Mopac.
Ah.
Oh,
Listen, we don't know what happened to the AA-20, so we can't prove that claim.
I mean, kind of do.
No, we don't.
kaboom.
It's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I know I do have the weird support system under the boiler. Can't think of what it's called.
Yeah, okay. Well, around here we call the weird support system the Iron Horseman Discord members.
What was it? Called?
Whatever. I spelled the word system wrong anyway. I'll just give you the point for it, and we'll move on.
Flat bearing surfaces. That's what they're called. Flat bearing surface on the boiler supports.
Does the Allegheny have that?
I don't know.
Okay. Tyler, do you think the Allegheny has that?
Has what?
Flat a bearing surface that the lead engine supports the boiler with.
I would think.
I
If
would
it's been articulated.
assume so. If it's an articulated, it probably should.
Okay. I'll give the point for the support system. What is your second one, Mopac? What could it be? What could it be?
Could it be?
You have to pull out ahead of... You're only up against the 9,000 and the Allegheny right now.
You need 4 points to win. 4 points up. Four more points. My bad. Up on the other thing to win.
Oh, for like a mathematically... Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I see, yeah.
To beat the CNO thing, you need to get 4 more points without the CNO getting any.
Oh
I
boy.
know.
I don't know if that's possible.
It's the same thing with different reel arrangement.
Although I
Like,
think I see... I
what
don't know
heavier?
about that. Well, you're about to run out of time, Mopac.
Um,
What is this thing?
I got
not-
nothing. I know it doesn't have more air. And it probably doesn't have more sand than the Allegheny.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Hold on,
Well,
I haven't been looking at the picture this whole time.
You are unfortunately out of time, so if you don't have anything to call, then we will move on.
I don't know. My lettering and my numbers are yellow. Is that a paint point? Question mark.
I don't think anybody here has paint exciting enough to get a paint point. I'll be frank.
It was worth a shot.
Anyway, that means we go back around to Fort.
Oh God. Wait a second. Are blind drivers a style point?
Yes, they do help you negotiate curves. Having blind drivers does help. So, open your eyes to those blind drivers. Oh, if you didn't get that point, you would have been mathematically eliminated. That's kind of funny. All right, what is your second style point then?
I think if Mew gets 1 more point, everyone else falls.
Oh boy, we'll see.
No, not number preserved wouldn't work.
I can see a couple. I can't say I like them, but I see them.
I mean, preservation does count.
Just
I don't know if you want to call it. I'm just pointing
does
it out.
9018 survive?
No, it
No.
didn't. But that's why I was saying, like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think only 9,000 is the only survivor.
Yep, 9,000 is the sole surviving member.
At least they
There
saved
is,
one.
there is another style point I can think of that Mopac wouldn't have, but I would have. So
I think that would mathematically eliminate everyone.
Yeah, so I can't think of anything else. Alice, you said you had some?
You can fold, and Tyler will give you one.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot about that.
All right, Tyler, what's one that you've got for this locomotive? I can think of 2 just by looking at it, but there's certainly more. Actually, I can think of 3.
Which locomotive?
The 9,000 class, 9018.
Okay, the 9,000 class. Did they get a point for? Okay, well, to be fair, that would tie them with that. I don't think we want to do that. Let's be nice.
Do you want to hear what comes to mind as the solo point for this engine that I hate so very much?
Sure.
The Vanderbilt
What's your
tender.
idea?
Oh!
Yeah, you can. Oh, yeah. I will support Vanderbilt tender as a style point, just to spite you.
I don't like it, but it does have this tender and nobody else does, which is sort of, by definition, a style point, as much as I hate Vanderbilt tenders. I know I've waffled on whether that's a point or not before. I'm going to continue waffling on it. Just deal with it.
I can now point back to this time.
And I will say, this is my big asterisk on it, and I reserve the right to hate Vanderbilt tenders as much as I like. The other one that I could think of off the top of my head is the fact that you got that toolbox on the tender, which is definitely a point. And what was the other one that I was just looking at? Now I can't remember, but that was it. There was the tender, there was the toolbox, and there was something else which escapes me, but whatever, it's not important. Actually, you look like you have that little whistle shroud. Otherwise, that's just a real chunky whistle. And that folds Mopac as well.
No.
Yeah.
No, you don't get the point for tender toolbox.
Oh.
That's just the one. It's just the one. So it doesn't fold Mopac. You don't get more than one from Tyler and I. But it does go back to Mew now, and I think you have the chance to mathematically eliminate the competition. So
yeah, I will say I think I also had a tender toolbox as well. So
I see something that resembles a toolbox down there. So yeah.
Yeah. So I will go for. Actually, shoot. I'll do one throw. I'll throw for a bone too. Flying air pumps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't even know that was a style point.
I'm giving this as a style point because Tyler will object if I do not. Let it be known that I am giving the flying air pump style point against my will. I think they look stupid and I hate them.
I could give another style point that only I would have, Ellis, if you're fine with it.
Well,
I mean, you're
he's
up.
already won.
One.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
He's won.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could still wrap things up if you want to.
Instead of not just air bell ringer, but air actuated whistle.
Oh, that's cool.
Push button, blow whistle.
That's something that
I
I
don't know
haven't. That's something that I don't think that's been mentioned at any point in any of the previous Royales, and I've never seen it before. So
what I'm hearing is your thing is a model train set.
yes, yeah,
Yes.
he's got a Lionel controller in the cab. He presses the button, it goes toot toot.
You cannot get it to Quill, sadly.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
disappointing.
that was what I was wondering. It's like full on solenoid. It's not like the air opens the valve.
Listen, not with
slowly.
that
I
attitude, you
just
can't.
assumed.
No, what you do is you have to do all of your whistle signals in Morse code.
You have
Yeah,
to
you have to,
spell
like,
out
tap
the word toot toot And let's bring in the points here and see that, yeah, Mew gets into the finale with a commanding lead of 86 points to the next
Yeah.
player's 81 or 80.5. And then 74 points to Kaiserin, who got knocked out pretty early in style points, and 61 to East, who, of course, did not officially make it into style points. But
Yippee!
I'd like to thank you all for playing. This was a great game, at least I thought so. 16 points off of this style point format is pretty crazy. And 15 and a half also went to the J95. I think like the J95 had a real shot at this for a little while. And it's a shame that it's not going in. I guess we'll see the Allegheny in the finale. But at least I don't have to look at the 9,000 class anymore.
Congrats, Mew.
And we will see you next week. Well, and by we, I mean not Tyler, because Tyler has successfully escaped thanks to college obligations. So, say goodbye to Tyler. Unfortunately, due to the fact that Arizona doesn't do daylight savings time, means that Tyler is 3 hours behind us, and yeah, it's just not going to work out. But my announcement is, as of earlier today, the form is open for submissions for Locomotives for next episode, which is the random Royale, where you'll basically get a locomotive out of a hat. So,
time to submit the A20.
Yeah.
So wait, where's the form?
So the form is in the pinned announcement in the announcements channel of this very Discord, where it calls out that on 8/23 we will do locomotives chosen from a contestant submitted pool. And the link to the form is under that. There is another link. There is another link in the event, which if you go into the events in the Discord and you look at the if you look at the picture of Lafayette staring into the camera, there is a link to a Google form next to him. And you can go in and submit your locomotive, and let me know if anything's wonky with the submission form. You will need the Locobase ID, the railroad road number and class, as well as a photograph of the locomotive, and it is one submission per person. So think hard, submit away. Submissions will be closed just before the next Royale, and I will see you all then. And once again, congratulations to Mew. We'll see you in the finale.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.